if TS didn't like my last video, she's definitely not going to like this one. Let's talk about the bar that she's been at multiple times this week, Zero Bond, and its owner, Scott, because there's a lot to unpack. Scott is the owner of Bond Hospitality, which owns these businesses listed below. As you can see, he's trying to build an empire. But what kind? In order to become a member of Zero Bond, you first have to fill out an application. Then, once you're approved, if you are, the members pay a fee ranging from $2,500 to $4,000 per month plus an initiation fee. And apparently there's 8,000 people on the wait list. Here's the thing, though, that's interesting about this bar. They have a special secret room that's a private lounge reserved for founding members who enter using their fingerprint. That's suspicious, but you'll see why here soon. Let's just say Scott is a very interesting character. He's been in a lot of legal lawsuits and been in some controversy back in the day when he dated one of the Olsen twins. She was 18, he was 30. Yeah. Then his business partner dated the other twin when she was 19. It gets worse. Personally, I would label these two as the evil duo, but you can decide for yourself. So a little bit about his business partner. Not only is Richie very close with Diddy and Leonardo DiCaprio, but he's referred to Diddy as a genius and his idol. Okay. Richie has also attended his white parties. He's also been seen with Diddy's previous partners, so you can't say he hasn't seen a few things, per se. I forgot to mention, he's also very close with Jay-Z, and he's made very odd comments, such as, quote, "I hope she's of age. If you hook me up with a wife, I'll owe you forever." And answering calls at almost 11 o'clock at night saying it's from his accountant. That's not suspicious at all. He's also shown his disdain for the woke era, saying, quote, "You can't get away with anything anymore because it's just not with the time. You'll get outed or something." Or something. I don't know. It gets weirder. In one lawsuit, Scott admitted to and offering $10,000 for people to testify against this person that was in the lawsuit. And he also admitting to that one of his spas that he had that was a hangout spot of Diddy and Leonardo DiCaprio, that they had a peep show where they had a freak box. It's exactly what you think it is. Essentially, Scott owned a spa that would have these performances at late hours where people would go to and have S shows. You're going to have to read the highlighted for this. I'm sorry. And those games would come down to where people would, SD. And then if they did it, they were given toys as prizes. Eventually, obviously, someone did, perform all the way. And this was broadcasted, like, it didn't just have the box. There were TVs around the entire premise of the place. That way, anyone that wasn't around the box could still witness what was happening in the box. This wasn't a one-off incident, and apparently one of the promoters at the event was dedicated to encouraging women to express themselves as actively as possible. Other lawsuits Scott found himself include, in 2008, 4 minority employees sued Scott, claiming they were fired because he stated, quote, he only wanted white girls he could F. In 2016, a YouTube personality, Essie, recorded a video alleging that she too was denied entry because of her dark skin color. In 2014, Scott and Richie were fighting. Scott claimed that he sold his share of one of the companies to Richie. Richie had told him that, hey, this business isn't doing so well, so Scott sold it to him at a lower price. Then Richie flipped it for a higher profit because he lied about the logistics of the income and underpaid him. Another lawsuit he found himself in regards to one of his other companies, One Oak, a former employee sued over discrimination, claiming he was wrongfully fired after speaking up about the staff's alleged racist actions. One of them including requiring higher minimum spending from Black and Hispanic clubgoers. Now, this employee states that he claims that he's the first Black general manager of this business and said he was fired in April after pushing management to ban a particular promoter who had called him the N-word. One Oak eventually was evicted because Richie owed nearly $1.8 million back in rent. Yikes. The lawsuits don't stop. Another lawsuit he found himself in was with the owners of one of the street clubs. They sued Scott, saying that he had been treating the night spa as his personal playpen and piggy bank, helping himself to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Which they said it didn't make any sense because not only did he have a hefty salary, but he virtually had unlimited free food and alcohol for him and his guests, unlimited payments by, butter as like personal expenses. Some of them that he was listing was his car and his apartment. That's not the write-off I think they're telling you can do. The lawsuit states that when Scott was confronted about it, he admitted to stealing the money and bragged about how he would get away with it. Yikes. He lost another lawsuit for not properly paying his employees. How many times does TS have to be around controversial people for us to start thinking, maybe there's something to this? Maybe there's a little bit more to it. Birds of a feather. You are who you surround yourself with. Maybe? Because let's be honest, it's not just Blake or Ryan. It's Diddy, Weinstein. The list goes on. What's interesting is, yet again, we saw TS out and about, but this time with SC. So why is it that we're seeing her out and about over and over again? Just happens to be the week of the hearing for the trespassing incident. What a coincidence. I couldn't find the original creator, but someone did post that they went to the same restaurant that night and they were told that they weren't allowed to take photos on her birthday dinner because TS was eating there. It's giving not a good look. First, we've got TS's all the money, cash grabs. Then you've got her going to these exclusive places that it's not just, hey, you have to pay this membership fee. You have to apply to get in. They have these secret rooms. The owner is sketch. The list just keeps piling up and it's getting weird. I mean, you're telling me the queen of PR image is being seen out and about with Diddy, Weinstein, Blake, and there's nothing to it? There's nothing more? The queen of the Easter eggs, there's nothing more? Come on. As always, this is all alleged. So take it with a grain of salt. As always, follow me for more.